1996, hundreds of thousands of people took drugs to tackle their pain, not knowing it would lead to addiction. Good evening, I'm Corey Stark.
And I'm Caroline Hecker in for Samantha Jones. Right now, time is running out for them to get compensation from Big Pharma for flooding our community and beyond with opioids. First Alert 4 investigator David Amilati speaks with one St. Louis man who wants the companies to pay up for the pain he's forced to live with every day.
First Alert 4 Investigates has told you for months about tens of millions of dollars to fix this epidemic. And what we've learned is some local governments across St. Louis are sitting on that money. Others have spent it to cover questionable expenses. Tonight, for the first time, we're speaking with a victim of overprescriptions, Mike Woods, who is going up against Big Pharma for his compensation.
They barely knew.
This is Mike Woods.
Barely knew.
The St. Charles County resident spent his career teaching middle school in the Francis House School District. Now retired, he wants to spend more time on the golf course and hitting the road with loved ones to see more games in person.
You got to see my leg.
But 20 years of various surgeries for his leg and back,
Nerve decompression, broken leg, knee replacement,
fueled his need for relief, now making this stage of life hard to enjoy.
Opioids were, prescribed 15, 20 years ago. They were just spit out, with like candy. At least to me they were. And it was just an easy get. And if I could have 5, why not have 10?
Woods got his latest prescription with 28 pills, but less than a day in, he's already taken 11.
They'll run out before they're due to run out.
And does that give you anxiety?
I just know I've allowed myself 3 to 4 good days, out of the 7.
Mike says he needs more drugs than the average person because from his 30s to his 60s, he's gotten these prescriptions, increasing his tolerance, forcing doctors to prescribe stronger and stronger doses to ease his pain.
If you took 2, I would take probably 5, 2.5 times probably what your amount is.
In recent years, regulations have tightened the grip on meds, so that free-flowing supply of opioids was cut off, leaving people like Mike in a bind to manage pain and function.
And then you can have it.
He is now suing Purdue and Endo, he says, to hold these companies accountable. And he says he's owed as much as $40,000 to $70,000 for 2 decades of misery.
But no amount of money compensates you for the pain and the struggle.
No, not at all, not at all. What I really want out of this is some type of a mechanism that gets me better pain relief through legal matters. That's all I want out of this, and that I don't have to jump through 17 hoops to get in line to jump through another 17 hoops.
Starting in 2019, a handful of pharmaceutical companies, including Purdue, Endo, and Mallinckrodt, filed bankruptcy because of thousands of lawsuits blaming them for fueling the opioid crisis, forcing them to pay out billions of dollars. The issue is these companies have taken years to restructure, leaving people waiting for compensation Mike says they're entitled to.
There's got to be more people like me out there.
Mike is one of 135,000 people across the country who have filed a claim following Purdue Pharma's bankruptcy settlement. Most are suing for their addiction or the death of a loved one.
This is barely lowercase j justice.
Christine Minhey is a national leading expert on opioid settlements.
When we look at the monies on the table, which are totaled at, over $57 billion now, less than 2% of it will be going to individual people, and the grand majority, like almost 100% of it, will be spent by governments.
The attorney by day spends her free time cultivating the nation's most accurate tracker of these dollars in hopes they are spent to bolster public health response to drug use. She points out of that $57 billion, $7 billion is coming from Purdue. And not $1 has been paid out in almost 6 years as their bankruptcy drags on while victims wait for compensation.
Now they're kind of being presented with this, well, all the states have signed on, now it's time for you to say yes. And I cannot imagine the experience of having to do that.
Mike says he doesn't have to imagine. It's his reality.
This is just paperwork from Endo and paperwork from Mallinckrodt and paperwork from Purdue.
Wood says the filing process for the lawsuit is frustrating when these big pharma companies took years to settle, but he only gets a few weeks to prove his pain is real. Mike says the online forms are confusing, and he's worried he'll make a mistake, getting him kicked off.
You only get one chance, don't screw it up.
If you got Purdue in the room with you right now, what would you say to them?
They need to be held accountable. And I guess they have, but not until I see that money. Not until I see the money.
As for what's next, more than 600,000 claimants have to vote to approve Purdue's bankruptcy plan by September 30th. It's a plan already backed by all 55 state and territorial attorneys general. Endo is expected to be the first company to pay out starting this September out of a pot of $39 million, far less than Purdue's expected $900 million payout to individual victims. Are you one of these people owed money for your addiction or the loss of a loved one? We want to hear from you. Message me at investigates@firstalert4.com. For First Alert 4 Investigates, I'm David Amilati.